Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today is the day, the Arena Decathlon Finals. This is a mirrored sealed pool, so everyone has the same selection of cards that they'll get. I have 2 tokens to enter this, so this particular video will be us deck building, kind of looking through the options, seeing what we're going to build. This is my personal perspective for the first run. I will link on my Twitter into the comments if you do want to just kind of keep a look out there. I'll like as many like 4-win runs and deck configurations as possible to give ideas to folks as well. But we're going to just walk through kind of, I'll offer my perspectives, what I think, and then hopefully get it there. I'll do a separate video of the gameplay depending on how it goes and upload that as well. But I wanted to get the gameplay or the deck building component out as early as possible. So what are we playing for today? So ideally we want to go 4-0. And if we go 4-0, we win one of each of the new set for Xio for 1, so just saving a lot of wild cards. So kind of a cool way to try to build our collection that way. We can also win some wild cards. The rest of the prizes kind of suck, to be honest. Like 8 wild cards, whoop-de-doo. Some draft tokens are fine, but whatever. This is the dumbest prize ever. Just 5 basic land styles from a 21 set, but beyond the fact, this is what we're trying to go for, so let's cash a Decathlon. See what we get. So be interested to see how they curate this. So this is actually a pretty powerful, like you have the white cards that are pretty strong. Coma is very strong as well. You have Chitter Gang. So there's a couple options. Platinum Angel is an interesting inclusion that they decided to curate for us. So let's take a look at the rares. Oh, there's a lot of rares here. Okay, so how do we want to build this? So individually, like you have, it looks like this kind of white weenie style package kind of to the top end. You have some tempo pieces. Looks like there's like an artifact package, some control elements. You have like Murderous Rider as a removal spell, some zombies. Arcanist is strong, but it's really dependent on what you get. So you have like the zombie package here, which could be interesting. Always love me some Seasoned Pyromancer. Ox is another nice card. Green looks pretty strong too, between like Ranger's Class, Ooze, stuff like that. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Okay, so your mana base is also really good here. So there's a lot of options. So it looks like there's a ramp package as well going up to like Platinum Angel, Cityscape Leveler. No sweepers from what I can tell. So you're going to 1-for-1 removal a lot. So it's like Elder Dragon War is your closest thing to a sweeper. I like these chunky green cards, to be honest. I might go Gruel. Let's see what else we get. See what uncommons we have. Okay, Hoplite. So you have some of like the weenie package, and Soul Artifact is another nice one. So removal, we have Heartless Act, we have Obliterating Bolt, Paradise Druid in here. I might go chunky Gruel. Flames of the Firebrand is fine. Reckless Rage isn't bad, especially with the Arcanist package. Expressive, obviously very powerful. Binding. Courier's Briefcase is another ramp effect. You have Dorat. Obviously the Blood Tithe Harvester in there. So there's a bit of the heroic package kind of mixed into there. Is that all the commons? Okay, so Homestead Courage. There's not too much in terms of the lower end stuff. So there's a lot of rares. So I want to see with Gruel what that looks like. First off, like I do like Esper Sentinel on curve, but I also like these cards. I love the card advantage that Pyro provides. We saw Obliterating Bolt in there. There's a Heartless Act. My concern is just if we do run into Platinum Angel, having answers for it. Rishkar, I guess Titan of Industry, we can go. Beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a token. If you do, put an acorn. Squirrels you control. I don't think we're on the squirrels plan. I also don't think we're on Chattergang. Ox is pretty nice here. So if we look like that, Gala Greeters, so we got some ramp elements, Krenko, Tireless, Ulvenwald. This also lets us fetch like the cityscape and stuff like that. Also like the Vetma. I don't think we're an Escape the Wilds deck given the curve of the deck. So play like that. Oh, no, not that. I wanted Fabled Passage. If we look in that regard, so we can do something like that. Then we have like Obliterating Bolt, Paradise Druid, Courier's Briefcase. So we got a decent amount of 2s in this deck. I don't love Reckless Rage. Battle Strike could be interesting because we have a lot of ways to make our creatures big. Catharic Pyre. Don't think we want to go 3 colors. Was there Jund Triome? Because I guess the splash isn't terrible. Because we really don't have that many 1-drops for like an aggressive deck that I'd like. Like your 1-drops are in other colors. I guess Reckless Rage isn't bad with some of this. Maybe go Solemn. As like our other effect. There's the Elder Dragon War, Jaya. Enters the battlefield, create a Thopter with flying. So this kind of plays interesting with the Tireless Tracker. You're to create 1 or more tokens, create that many squirrels instead. So we could look at something like that. But between Jaya, Elder, so Elder hits some of our lower end stuff. But we can skip that. We can just make a dragon, which isn't terrible. Ox lets us refill our hand. Seasoned Pyromancer lets us refill our hand. So in terms of tokens, the token element might not be terrible, all things considered. Because if we look at it, we have like this makes a token, this makes tokens, this makes tokens, this makes tokens, this puts counters, tokens, tokens. So that might be an addition. Courier's Briefcase also helps with filtering. I don't know if I love Elder Dragon Roar. It's kind of expensive. So we can do that. Paradise Druid makes black mana. We have treasure tokens. We have that. Is there a Jund Triome? There is not. We went Ketria for the red-green because that's our base color. Kaya's card advantage. So I think we go 15 green. I'll go Death Cat maybe. Woodland Cemetery. Or just go Haunted Ridge. I have 11, so 2 blacks are just to activate its ability. This makes... So this adds green mana. This can create treasure tokens. This is treasure tokens. Paradise Druid creates mana. Gala Greeter creates treasure tokens. So I think that's fine in terms of the mana base. Do we want Binding? An interesting one. I think I like this configuration. We are heavy on like multiple greens. So I think we might want to go up 1 more green. Play it like that. So I think Gruel looks something like this. These are all very powerful cards. I wish we could like, no. Okay, so that's my Gruel list. Can I export this to Deck Builder? Okay, add to decks. Just want to see what else would come through. I don't think there's enough in the artifact deck. I don't love doing like the weenie style deck. There's Abzan Ramp perhaps. You have Fading Hope, but there's not a lot of spells that are like reasonable here. I also don't see a lot of ways to self-mill. Abzan. Like you could use Blood Tithe Harvester for the blood. Because like White Weenie, you get these, but they're kind of garbage otherwise. This is a good card. With what blue, red, tempo, you have Fading Hope, Hard Evidence. Temur Battle Rage isn't really good in that tempo deck. I don't think you can go control. I usually like to be more proactive. Like there's a Reanimator kind of deck here, but I'm not seeing the ways to put stuff into your graveyard. Like this discards a card. There's the zombie theme. Rados Flames the Firebrand. Probably decent. Like you can put that into the graveyard, but it doesn't really do much. Again, it's like a lot of like this is one way to put stuff into the graveyard, but not great. So I don't think you want to be on the reanimation. Like Coma's a really big top end threat, especially if you go with like Platinum Angel. So you can go Sultai. Seems like the best ramp version. So if we look at Sultai, we're getting rid of the green stuff. We have the ramp package. We get access to this. Like our curve is going to be higher, so we don't necessarily want that. This in here, Cold Steel. You have the Sultai land. There's like a token deck here, but I don't really love Simic. Sultai gets access to a lot of good dual lands. You have Urtai, and the God Eternals. Removal. Removal. I guess this is part of the reanimation deck. I guess that's self-mill too. Cruelty isn't bad. You have Shark Typhoon in there. But again, like, you don't have a huge amount of removal options when it comes to this. You have like some tempo effects. Guess that's an early blocker, some card advantage. This could bounce. Midnight Clock for ramp. Kind of play into that, but the zombie deck's probably not too bad. Like, you have some elements, but you're also kind of weak. Like, you got parts of decks, but not really full decks. I like this Gruel deck. The only thing that I think I would maybe change, because then Vivien also gets us access to like any of these colorless creatures if we need. Also, depending on treasure, we can get like on-colored things. So if I have treasure, I can get like Bloodtithe Harvester. I could get Olivia. So I have elements like that thanks to the treasure. I could get Drakuseth. Even depending on how much treasure, get something like Sanctuary Warden, which is kind of cool. I think just Flames of the Firebrand is the thing I'm deciding on. I don't know how good Krenko is going to be. Like, Krenko unchecked, but there's a lot of like dorky creatures. Or maybe is it just better than Reckless? Reckless can't do it really on our 2-drops. I guess if we pump like a Ranger's class, it can work. We have some ways around that. It's a good late draw. 4 damage is good. With this deck, I guess if they show Platinum Angel, I have Titan main deck to destroy it. I can go Vivien to destroy it, and then I have 4 toughness, I think, Platinum Angel. This is just a stupid card to kind of keep in there. I have Reckless Rage. I have Obliterating Bolt. So I have enough answers to it. And I can also bring in the Cityscape Leveler post-board. I have options to do that. So I think this is the deck I'm going to go with for round 1. I'm going to go with a Gruel aggro deck. Interested to see what you'd be considering for these matches, but we have a little bit of a black splash. Very, very fine. I might even just do a single black splash, to be honest. Shattergang, sacrifice X squirrels, so it's kind of narrow. I think for maybe just having cleaner mana, we just do that. Have a single black source to kind of play with that and go from there. So this is what I am going to run for the first run. I will report back in the video comments how I did. And like I said, as I find new deck options, I will, or decks I've done well, I'll post it on my Twitter. But let me know if you do have success with anything. Post the list in the comments. And good luck with this. Hopefully everybody can win a set. Unless you're facing me, then sorry, but I'm going to have to take you out. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.